Vaporwave. Born on the internet as a simple aesthetic inspired by the 80s and 90s culture, today is one, if not the most interesting music genre on the planet. What started as a meme is now something to take extremely serious. If you ever think of making a Vaporwave album in your mindset is, let's just find a formula that works, you don't understand the genre. And the community will notice this. A community that I can safely say I'm proud to be part of. Always hungry and supportive for new music experience, and judged by the thousand upon thousand releases on Bandcamp/SoundCloud, you better prepare yourself for a hell of a ride. But what is Vaporwave exactly? I'm not talking about the music aspect, but as a concept, what is it? Is it just a bizarre music genre, or a philosophy/political movement? In this video I want to talk about two things in particular, the philosophy of the genre and the overall aesthetic, and why it's so important for the music itself. Alright. Here we go! Recently I revisited two classic Vaporwave releases, Flower Shop and Late Night Delight. If compared to the contemporary sound of the genre, they left a lot to be desired on sound quality. The sound was very simplistic, almost rudimental, which is not necessarily a bad thing because I show how much the genre has evolved in terms of music, but on a pure aesthetic/ideology approach, both of this album create something really unique. Flower Shop, with its hypnotic cover and stylistic mood, create a vision of a world made of all 3D polygons and abstract sound. If you listen carefully, you can even hear what they say, what story this world tells. The tale of a beauty forever lost in a world that is now in a decadent state, that still dream an intangible future. Late Night Delight, on the other hand, with its dreaming atmosphere, invite us to jump on a cloud and look at the beautiful and gorgeous light of the midnight city below, until you start to feel a little bit hungry. And from the absolute nowhere, you spot a McDonald's. From the moment you open that door, a funky and upbeat music starts to play. And before you can buy the biggest and sweetest Big Mac of your life, a thought in your mind says, the fun's just begun, kiddo. The thing that these two albums have in common is the fact that the images they create are not from the present nor the future, but from the past. A past that we can barely remember, or maybe we never experienced in the first place. And here comes the tricky part. Do we listen to Vaporwave just for the atmosphere they create, or we really love this music? Let me ask you something. Can you remember the first time you ever seen an album cover? What sensation brought that image to your mind? What sound belonged to that image? I'm asking this because I think that aesthetic is so important that it can almost overshadow the music itself. I personally believe that that is the primary reason for why we listen to music in general. All kind of music. Of course, we can talk about music theory, how it works, and why certain structure in different songs are more pleasant to listen than others, yet it's impossible to deny the importance of appearance in life and how crucial it is. We all like to look at something beautiful or intriguing, and our brains know when to see it. While it's true that you don't judge a book by its cover, the job of the cover is to project a precise image of the product that it is. As an example, I use World Class by Luxury Elite and Soft Nostalgic by VCR Classic. World Class take us through the highest class of the big city, with a bright light, beautiful woman, nice cars, and endless shopping brought to you by the endless money machine known as the stock market. When the music starts to play, you can feel all this atmosphere and imagine yourself on the top of the food chain, just like Bud Fox or Gordon Gekko, until you start to questioning an existence such as this, and the inevitable emptiness of everything. If I have everything, what is left in life anymore? Soft Nostalgic, on the other hand, opens up more humbly and sweetly, a world cradled by the quiet night before 9/11, a world that is still innocent. Have a drink, take a sit, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's gonna be fine. Just relax. Look at how beautiful those two magnificent towers are. I'm wondering how the world looks from up there. And the album cover reflects all of this. I could go on and talking about this topic for hours, but the result doesn't change. The aesthetic is so central in the genre that without it, this music probably will not have the same impact. Yet, this image will remain only images without this music, without a story to tell. Like an rebuttal, Vaporwave is a living paradox. Love it. Trying to talk about philosophy in the genre is not easy. Born as a critique of modern capitalism, it has slowly evolved in a triumph of nostalgia and glorification of it. Nonetheless, Vaporwave albums today are more complex than that. While the use of nostalgia was never abandoned by the genre and is still very present in almost every releases, the goal of this music is to create a full immersion and intangible journey to an abstract reality, or to relive a certain moment in time, even if it's a tragedy. I think that Vaporwave says a lot about modern reality. In a world where we can have everything with one click, Vaporwave asks us to dedicate ourselves to our love for music, to dedicate ourselves to the research and to the discovery of something that we do not believe could exist. The beauty lies in the discovery and experimentation of the genre, that keep push boundaries every day, far as possible from commercial music. While at the same time, ironically, the music that Vaporwave was born from was commercial music at some point in time. Which is interesting, don't you think? But that's a topic for another time. Alright, let's talk about capitalism for a minute. Vaporwave was born as a digital-only movement with very few physical releases. Fast forward to current time and you can practically listen to Vaporwave on every format possible. You know, CDs, vinyl, mini CD, cassette, even floppy disk? I don't know. What I want to say with this is the fact that there's a market. Not a big one, but there's one. A market for people who really desire physical stuff, and they will pay good money if necessary. But why? Wasn't this a genre based on nothing? Music made only on thoughts and memory and everything that is abstract. A genre based on the fact that it doesn't really exist. Think about it for a second. Everything that is digital, everything that you buy as a digital format, movies, video game, music, anything, does it really exist? I don't think so. Let's just say that you find a very, very good album on Bandcamp. You start to listen to it, but you're not sure if you want to buy it or not. Maybe you need to take time and think about it. The next day you wake up and discover that the Bandcamp page of that particular album is gone. And I mean gone forever. No backup on YouTube or SoundCloud, no physical releases, just gone. Gone in a giant virtual trash can that nobody can see or touch. An endless search for meaning and pleasure that can last forever or seconds. Forever just a vague memory of something you cannot recall or describe. Now is a little different. Almost every digital release have a physical release. Or is archived somewhere. But the fact that this music is collected and archived, plus the fact that re-release of certain albums exist, doesn't that mean that Vaporwave as a concept/philosophy is dead? That the critique aspect of capitalism is dead, and now capitalism is incorporated in the genre in some way? And if that is the case, then what they say is true. Vaporwave is dead. Not the sense that the music is dead, but the idea of it. So, here we are, back at the start, asking the same question. Why we listen to Vaporwave? It's complicated. For some it's nostalgia. Others for the genuine love of music. For me, I still don't know. Maybe it's the fact that when I look out on my window, I don't recognize the world that I live in. A world without hope, color and trust. Or maybe it's the fascination with this bizarre elevator music and all the relative subgenre that makes my brain so nuts about it. I don't even know why I collect them, but one thing I know, I will never stop to listen to Vaporwave, the sound of a lost world. Hi there, thank you for listening. This channel is gonna focus strictly on Vaporwave and retrowave stuff of all kind. Sometimes I will talk about movies that I think fit the genre, but most of the time I will talk about music. If you wanna be updated regarding future releases, you can follow me on Twitter, link in the description. If you're interested, then consider subscribing and comment as much as you want. I'm really curious to know what you think and what your personal view of the genre is. You have listened to Mr-Nessuno. I'm walking on the moon.